Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to the Emperor's Club, the Kingmaker series. This is your humble vassal, Professor J. Mark. I know y'all don't want to see me. You want to look at this beach scene rather than look at my face. So, we're on chapter 6 in the Kingmaker. It's called Introspection. We'll be working on that now, and we'll give you the view of the beach. I hope you can see it. I hope you can see it. All right, I have the door open now because it was windy as God knows what just a little while ago. Anyway, we're on chapter 6, Introspection. And I think I was 14 years old in church on Wednesday night service. We were taught this: a life unexamined is not worth living, by Plato. This changed my life. I was never the same. I was taught to look at myself, to look in the mirror. And it taught me a very valuable lesson that, you know what? Focusing on people is not going to help you. Focus on yourself. I'm kicking the door the way because it's windy, and I don't want to disrupt anyone's view because it's beautiful here. But the thing about introspection, when I was 14, is I couldn't figure out how do I examine myself. It's not like I'm trying to get to know somebody where you can find out, you can talk to them, question them, and you can learn about them. But how do I ask myself questions about myself to find out who I am if I already know everything there's about me? Then in class, the literature class, the only thing Shakespeare said that I agree with was that to thine own self be true, and as night follows day, you'll be true to others. So I learned that for me, introspection was telling yourself the truth. And I learned that that's the only way that you can grow, develop, and flourish. For me, my view on introspection is taking responsibility for what happens to you. Because I've learned that, I've learned this from observing all the people fail in relationships. They would always blame the other person. And after a while, after noticing this, right, this is how I understood introspection. They will always have the same complaint about everyone that they're involved with. Then it dawned on me, you know what? The only common denominator is that person. So I struck the nerve to ask a young lady, who I worked with, on a little part-time job in high school. I asked her, do you notice the same thing keeps happening over and over? And she agreed. She said, yeah, all these guys are bums, they're lazy, they're worthless, they're no good, blah, 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 blah. So I'd ask her, well, did you notice anything about all these guys? I don't think she realized what I was trying to say, because she's older than me. I wasn't trying to be rude or offend her because I liked her. But she kept doing the same thing over and over and over. So after about 6 months, after another person who she break up with, I asked her, do you think you had anything to do with these failed relationships? She's like, no, she's a good woman. And the favorite line, oh, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. These guys are this, these guys are that. And I realized she doesn't realize that she picks the same guys over and over and over. And she has the same complaint about them over and over and over. And then I realized something. Even though I don't want to tell her that she's the common denominator, I realized in my life, the common denominator, what happens in my life is going to be me. So I have to examine myself, my motives, my reasons for doing things. And I don't think she realized that she wanted things from these guys. Excuse me. And it is her wanting these things that made her attract these guys to her. I mean, either A, they don't give it to her or give it to her how she likes it, she has a problem with them. So, in essence, her not knowing her part that she plays in the relationships or the failed relationships she had, she continuously have the same experience over and over and over and over and over. And I remember, that made me think of my class on Wednesday night at church, where a life unexamined is not worth living. Yes, she's never going to grow because she's going to keep bringing the same guys around because she has yet to realize that these men, she's attracted to them or she is attracting them. So there's something in her, excuse me, that is bringing these guys into her life, or that is making her gravitate to them. And then that's when I realized what Plato was talking about. And I worked with a young lady just a few years ago, and she had the same complaint. All 8 of her boyfriends are all worthless and useless, and lazy and good for nothing. So I asked her a very good question. All 8? She said, yes, all 8. Every last one? Every last one. I said, do you understand how mathematically improbable that is? I would say impossible, but my math teacher says, no, it is improbable. So it is impossible for all of those guys, complete strangers, to be all equally worthless without her realizing, or without her being aware of the fact that they're a reflection of her. She is bringing the worthless man to her. And this is why you must do introspection, because you can pay, but for me, introspection is to pay attention to the circumstances and the people that gravitate to you and which you, excuse me, gravitate to. Because it's a reflection of who you are or what lies within you, or your lacks. Because that's an issue too. That can draw things into your life or attract what gets your attention. She didn't realize that all of these 8 guys are a reflection of her. So I watched her for a year and I realized that she behaves exactly like the man she attracts. So I told her this in a not so subtle way because I didn't know her that well. And she didn't get it. It went over her head, which I wanted to so as not to offend, because I really wanted to help her without offending her. And I remember my teacher in 7th grade was like, before you condemn anyone and point the finger, remember you have 3 pointing back, and they are called check yourself. So I made it a point to always do introspection on every aspect of my life. Whether things go wrong or right. Excuse me. Because time is going, and I don't have time to be repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. If it was going to take me is a day, a few hours, or a few weeks or months to ask myself, what part am I playing in this? And I realized most people don't do that. And as I got older, I saw why. Because introspection means telling yourself the truth. Maybe I am lazy. Maybe I am a bum. Maybe I want something for nothing. This is probably why these things are coming into my life. And anyone who knows anything about the universal law of attraction knows that like is drawn to like. And this is why you need introspection, so that you can see what is in you based on what you attract and make the correction. And this is why introspection came after decisiveness. All right, I am causing this. So I will do the opposite that I have been doing to attract X, Y, and Z into my life. Or if it is good, you reinforce it so that more comes in. So gentlemen, that is the reason why you have to do introspection. You have to examine your life and tell yourself the truth. And I had a teacher that taught that you have to do introspection every new season. So every 3 months, you have to stop and examine your life and what's going on. And to tell yourself the truth. Are you the cause of what's happening? And if it is, you acknowledge it, accept it, and do something about it. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you for your time. The next chapter is going to be health as well. Thank you. I'll catch you on the flip side.